exciting day today. We've had an opportunity to hire a guy that I think the world of. He was with us back at Kansas State when I was a player, and hopefully he won't tell you how bad of a football player I really was, but he's a special person to me. You know, when I look back and coaching, Coach Mangino has been one of those guys that I think has done a tremendous job in his career. When he became a head coach, as I witnessed and saw what he did there with the University of Kansas. And of all the K-Staters, of all of us that have went off and had opportunities to be head coaches, whether it's Jim Levitt, Bob Stoops, you go down the line, Dana Dimwell, etc., etc. I think Coach Mangino was one of those guys that did the most with the most difficult situation. Anybody that can take the University of Kansas to the Orange Bowl and win and do what he did there at that program is a remarkable job. And we had an opportunity to recruit him here to come to Youngstown State and be a part of this great program. And he's a guy that I can confide in, visit with. There's been several times in my 3 years of being a head coach here that I've reached out to him and just picked his brain and talked about things. And obviously when he was at Oklahoma, he was the offensive coordinator there and won a national championship at Oklahoma, had an outstanding offense, and you know, that's just the tip of the iceberg as far as coaching, what you get with him. But more importantly, his wife Mary Jane will move up here and join him. She'll be coming up from Naples. They got tired of the sun down there, so they were excited to come back to this area. But as you guys know, we're excited to have them, so I want you guys to have an opportunity here to visit with Mark Mangino. All yours, Coach.
Thanks, Henry.
Well, first of all, it's great to be back in Youngstown. I left here in 1986, and now it's an opportunity to come back here to work for somebody that I truly care about, be at this great university. It's been good to me. Youngstown State's been very good to me, both as a student and having coached here. And it's a great opportunity. I'm really excited. I want to thank Eric for inviting me. I can't wait to get out on the field and get rolling here. I also like to thank Athletic Director Ron Strollo and Dr. Anderson also for this opportunity. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I got a chance to see the 6 a.m. workout this morning, and there's hardworking kids, talented kids, kids that care. A bunch of really good coaches here on the staff, so I'm really excited about it. It's a great opportunity, and a great opportunity to come home. Haven't lived here for quite a while, and my wife and I, you know, we have a lot of family and friends in the Youngstown, Newcastle area, so it's a great day for our family. I do want to mention that, you know, you don't have the kind of weather here that I've been used to the last few years, but I can adjust. You know, growing up here and everything, I just thought it was, this morning when I came outside, I said, holy cow, it's really chilly. I remember riding my bicycle just the other morning and the birds were singing and the sky was nice and blue. But the weather doesn't make a difference in my life, people do. And that's why I'm here at Youngstown State, because I care about the people here. I care about people like Eric, and I want to be able to help this program get to the next level. You know, all my career, I've really taken jobs where there was rebuilding work to be done. This is the first time that I can remember in a really long time, maybe the first time at the college level, that I'm taking a position that is in pretty good shape, that it's poised to move to the next level. This isn't a rebuilding job. Eric has done a wonderful job here. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to spring ball, and I'm looking forward to just living here in the Youngstown area and getting acquainted with my old friends and seeing my family more often than I have in the last 23, 24 years, whatever it's been, I don't even know. I'll be glad to take some questions.
Coach, given your experience, what do you bring to Youngstown State's football program that can help get the program to the next level, given your track record and resume?
Well, I think what you just touched on there is experience. I've had an opportunity in my lifetime. I've coached at the high school level, the NAI level, the 1AA level, now FCS. I've been in Division I, 3 different Division I programs. So I've been in a lot of big games on big stages, and been around a lot of great players and great coaches. And every day here I want to draw on those experiences to help YSU. Let's face it, YSU is about winning national championships. And I'm not one to make predictions. I'm not good at that. If I was good at that, I'd be really doing well. But I will say this, I told Eric, you know, I come to win, and Eric's a winner. I came here because, a lot of reasons, but Eric is one of the main reasons, because he's got this program going in the right direction. He has done it the right way. He's not taken any shortcuts. He hasn't cut any corners. And I think that maybe just my experience here and there might be, if it's good enough to get one first down, then it's, you know, I contributed something.
Coach, I read one story, they said you've been in exile over the last couple of years, but maybe can you talk about what it's been like for you the last couple of years, and also maybe just address some of the red flags, I guess, that come along with the positive things that you done?
Well, I don't know where the term exile came. I've been in, most of the time in Naples, Florida. My wife and I have traveled extensively through the Deep South and the Midwest. I have visited probably 4 or 5 NFL training camps. I've probably been to 15 or 20 Division I schools. I've followed high school games in Southwest Florida, and I've gone to practices, and I've kept in touch with all of my coaching buddies. And I've been in stadiums to watch games. I've been at Oklahoma. I've been to watch Kansas State, Miami, and Miami. Spent time at Ohio State during training camp for 3 days. I was out there, right out in the open. So I wasn't hiding by any stretch of the imagination. So I've also had a chance to spend time with my children and grandchildren, which has been very important to my wife and I. And I've also been busy helping my wife get her health back. So I've been pretty visible. If you were looking for me, I was really easy to find.
Coach, with that being said, what was it personally for you that made it that decision, hey, I'm ready to get back into the coaching ranks?
Well, I think a number of things played into it. Number one, I miss it. I mean, I missed it. I didn't realize how much I would miss it until I didn't have it. And, you know, I just watched a lot of games, and what people, different teams would even send me cut-ups or practice tape and stuff to watch at home, just, you know, keep me busy. A couple years ago, it was really nice of Raheem Morris, who I hardly had known. I just coached against him when I was at Kansas, and he was the D coordinator at Kansas State. He called me one day and asked me what I was doing, and I said, you know, I think I told him I was watching Andy Griffith. And he said, why don't you come up and spend some time with us? He said, I'll put you up in a hotel. He said, you come to meetings, come to practice, come to the stadium on game day, on the sideline, just everything, just be a part of it. He said, I'd love to have you here. So I went and spent some time with them. He was really gracious to do that. But the time was right. And it had to be somewhere that I wanted to go. And this is a place that's near and dear to my heart. I've said it before, when I was a student here, they really reached out to me, faculty, staff, administrators. I had a great opportunity. Bill Narduzzi gave me my first college coaching job here, and I'll forever be grateful to the late Coach Narduzzi. And then Jim Tressel came in, and Jim asked me to stay on, and that was a great experience being with Jim. And I met so many wonderful people here, you know. And I know I'll miss somebody, but there's people that reached out to help me, like Joe Malmasor and the former Dean of the School of Education, Dave Ruggles. There's just so many people that I could, you know, I can't thank them all, but they reached out to me. They gave me opportunities. They helped me along the way. So when Eric called me, I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And I said, hey, it's time to go, and let's my wife and I discussed, let's go somewhere where, you know, we're close to our family, friends, and at Youngstown State. You love the place and you love the people. Let's do it.
Mark, we all have red flags. Was that at all a concern, what happened in Kansas in your past of taking this job?
No, I'm very proud of what I did at Kansas. I'm very proud of my work there, both on and off the field. There's way more positives than anything with the Kansas situation. While we were there, I don't want to get into, you have a lot of stuff in print, but, we did things there that Kansas had never done, and both on and off the field. And before I even get to on the field things, off the field, I was one of the first Division I coaches to approach his administration about advanced cardio screening. I mean, when kids came into training camp, we just didn't have them come in and give them the obligatory physical and pass them on. They got EKGs, extensive heart examinations. You'll be surprised at things we detected. One young man had to give up his career. Another one was in a life-threatening situation. And 2 others were told it could be 3 years, 5 years, 10 or 20 years, they were going to run into a serious problem. We detected that right away. We were one of the first to do that. I had a concussion protocol at Kansas before the NCAA mandated a concussion protocol. And I've had players talk about it. James Holt, who played for the Chargers, they asked him about injuries one time, and he's quoted in some publication saying, Coach Mangino's way ahead on the concussion thing. If you showed any sign, they took your helmet, and, blah, blah, blah. But I started a program at Kansas called Character First. I asked the dean of students to co-chair it with me and to run it. And what it was, a program, we met once a month in the off season, and the dean of students is actually trained as a psychologist. And what we did is we had exercises and lessons and guest speakers come in where you challenge kids in the way they think, and there were all these exercises. And it worked out great for us because we didn't have many off-the-field incidents at Kansas. We really didn't. We had some, everybody has those, but we didn't have any really major problems with players during my time there. And it's kind of a program that coaches from all over the country have called me about it and have implemented in their programs as well. We took good care of the players. 99% of the kids had a great experience there. I had a great experience there. So, I really don't, I have no reservations about how we worked at Kansas.
Coach, being from this area, and as you say, having 2 coaching stints here, you've seen Youngstown State football through a number of eras, both successful and not so successful. What are your thoughts about the future of the program from today?
Well, I think the future is bright. I think we have the right guy running this program. Let me tell you a little bit about Eric. He doesn't like when I say this, but Eric was a player at K-State, and I was there on the staff. And he was, anytime old assistant, I shouldn't use the term old, but former assistant coaches at K-State, whether we're at a convention or we're somewhere and we run into each other, the stories start flying about the good old days. And when they start talking about tough players and hard-nosed guys, his name's in the conversation every time. He's one of the toughest football players that Bill Snyder ever coached at K-State. He played guard for us, a little right guard, a little left guard. I don't know, I think he had close to 40 starts in his career there. And he came when things were not so good in the beginning. And I remember when we were grading tape, we'd look at it, and you grade, on fundamentals and technique and how, sometimes how pretty the guy looks making his block. Eric never looked pretty, but his guy seldom made the tackle. He did whatever it took to keep his guy from making the hit. And as coaches, you come to appreciate that. He played, during his career, he played against some notable defensive linemen that have played in the NFL that lined up right on his nose. And he thinks he's a great athlete. He's not a great athlete. But I will guarantee you, his guys seldom made the hit. It hardly ever made the first hit. Because he's tough, he worked hard, he paid the price, he was a team player, he cared about winning. That's why he's going to be a great head coach. He is. And he's going to only continue to get better. And I love the guy, and that's why it's one of the major reasons I'm here, is because of Eric. Not to mention, I love being in Youngstown with all my family and everything.
Mark, there was a lot of reports that Colorado was after you, possibly going back to Oklahoma. First of all, how serious was that, and what was the deciding factor to come here? You mentioned family, so I guess you answered that a little bit. But was there any
Yeah.
serious consideration to take those positions?
Well, the Colorado thing, I got up one day and saw it on the internet like everybody else. I don't know where that came from. So when I saw it, I said, well, I'm going to inquire about it. But it never really got any traction. I'm not going to mislead you to death. As far as Oklahoma, the dynamics changed there. I left there as the offensive coordinator. My record there, I can't remember what it was. We won a lot of games, won a national championship. So I figure this. Repeats are not always a great idea. Look at Joe Gibbs and think, my name's good in Oklahoma. I figure I'm going to keep it that way. Okay? They like me in Oklahoma, so let's keep that just the way it is. Things change. Times moves on and everything. But, I still, Bob and I have a great relationship, but that wasn't in the cards for me.
Why do you think Eric hired you, per se? I mean, there's some naysayers that I'm sure they're out there in college football all over the place saying, why would Youngstown State hire a guy who has, quote unquote, a controversial or a questionable past? Why do you think you were the best guy for this position?
Oh, I can't answer that. Maybe you should, that's a question posed to Eric, maybe. It's either your glass is half full or half empty. There's plenty of people who have been around me for years and have watched me coach and how I coach my teams. And I've been very, very fortunate to have success at most places. So if you watch my work, your glass is half full. If you've just listened to secondhand information and sources that are not close to me or even have followed me closely, then you may have a different opinion. Here's a guy who played for me. I couldn't believe that he would hire somebody if he didn't have the utmost faith in his ability to coach and deal with people. I mean, he's a smart guy, and he didn't have to offer me this position, and he's a former player of mine.
Coach, all due respect, I mean, your weight has been part of your story a little bit. It looks like you're a little bit thinner over the last couple of years. Can you address that?
Yeah, let me put it to you like this. I have shed, some weight. There's no question. It's a lifestyle change. But I'm nowhere near my goals. I've got off to a tremendous start and things are rolling pretty good. But what do you say, maybe if I get a little closer to some goals, maybe in the fall we'll take that discussion up. How's that sound?
That sounds fine.
Okay.
Was there one thing with the food around here?
Was there one thing in specific that Coach Wolford told you or said to you that said, this is the right place, this is the place I need to be?
Well, he didn't have to sell Youngstown to me, and he certainly didn't have to sell himself to me. No. He called. All I had to do is I had to think about family considerations in terms of my wife. I don't want to get into all that, but her doctors are right there where we live, and if she needs some things done, we'll have to consider her changing doctors. And anytime somebody has been struck with a serious disease, they get confidence in their doctors, and they're not crazy about changing over. But my wife is a coach's wife. She loves it. She supports me. She needs a team desperately to cheer for, she said. So it was a no-brainer at the end of the day. We were coming to Youngstown.
Mark, how long did this process take? When did it happen? So on and so forth.
Oh, Eric called me one night. It was in January sometime. I can't remember. It was a while back. And he told me, what the situation was and that he wanted me to come here and, what did I think? And then before I could say anything, he said, well, don't tell me now. He said, just let me know when you're ready to say yes. And I thought for sure he would go hire somebody else because at first, I told you my wife and everything were kind of, trying to work it all out and think about it and see what was the best thing to do. And he was really patient, and finally we talked a week or so ago, and I said, I think I'm ready to come. And it was great. I felt good about it. I have no reservations about this decision. I'm ready to go. I've had a chance. A gentleman asked me, I've been working out. I've been waiting to get ready to get out on the field. I've got a lot of energy. I've got a lot of enthusiasm. I've got a lot of snaps left in me. So I can't wait till March 19th gets here. It'll be the first day out on the practice field for me in a while.
Is this like a second chance for you?
No, I don't see it that way, because I really feel like I've had opportunities in the past. I've been contacted by various people about positions, coaching, and I never felt great about it. I just, there was always a reason that I wasn't completely sold on it. But there's no expiration date on coaching. You can sit out 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. Look at Bob Davie. He was out for 10 years. He's at New Mexico. So I thought an opportunity would come if I was patient. I'd get something that I would really be happy with. And, Eric called, and that was something, for the first time I really was excited about something. It really kind of hit me in a way that I said, this might be something I want to do. And, we got our families back there in Newcastle and in Youngstown, and all of our friends, and let's go have fun with it. Let's go win some games. That's what it's all about. It's about winning. This business here is about, number one, making sure your players are good citizens, go to class and get their degree, they represent their university and their family in a positive way, and winning. Winning. When you win, everything's better. I told Eric, even the coffee tastes better in the morning when you're winning.
Coach, fan support and passion here in Youngstown for football is, as you know, is very strong. A lot of fans who will read this or see this on television that you've been hired, it's a high-profile hire. What's your message to those fans who are so passionate about football that may be impressed that, wow, you're coming to Youngstown State?
Well, they got to know that I'm coming home. Despite the years that I've been gone here, I'm back in the Youngstown, Western Newcastle area. I'm coming back home to maybe help out a place that helped me out early in my career. Maybe do something good for them, do something good for the people that did something really good for me years ago when I needed help. And, I don't know how high profile this is. I mean, I'm just from Newcastle, and there's nothing high profile about that. I'm just the ordinary guy. There's nothing fancy about me or anything. I just want the fans to know we're gonna play hard. We're gonna win. We're gonna win. I came here to win. I told Eric, I said, this isn't just a hobby for me. This is my life. This is what I do. And when I put my signature on something, I want it to be good. And we're gonna be good. We're just gotta. The only thing I have to offer you, I have no predictions. I can't do any of that stuff. The only thing I can personally offer to our players and coaches and our fan base is hard work. That's all I have to offer. I don't have anything else. I'm average intellect. Nobody will confuse me for Robert Redford. I mean, I'm just an average guy, but I'll work. I'm not afraid to work at it.
Coach, the release says that one of your primary responsibilities will be recruiting coordinator. Talk about how your recruiting philosophy and Coach Wolford's recruiting philosophy are complementary.
They're exactly the same. Let's find the best players we can get to play for YSU. Eric wants me to do this recruiting thing because one of my responsibilities at K-State when he was there, I was the recruiting coordinator. So he wants me to go full circle and go back and be a recruiting coordinator again. Now, you know what? Recruiting coordinator, it's just administrative work. The real work is the gatherers. Going out, we got to gather those players. We got to sell YSU. We got to sell Youngstown, the Mahoning Valley, and bring them in. It's the gathering that makes a difference. How you approach the kids, how you recruit them, how you sell the place. Director of recruiting, it's a ministry. Make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. That's what it is.